When you're in positions of privileged access, like a systems administrator for these sort of intelligence community agencies, you're exposed to a lot more information on a broader scale than the average employee. And because of that, you see things that may be disturbing, but over the course of a normal person's career, you'd only see one or two of these instances. When you see everything, you see them on a more frequent basis. And you recognize that some of these things are actually abuses. And when you talk to people about them, in a place like this where this is the normal state of business, people tend not to take them very seriously and move on from them. But over time, that awareness of wrongdoing sort of builds up and you feel compelled to talk about it. And the more you talk about it, the more you're ignored, the more you're told it's not a problem. Until eventually you realize that these things need to be determined by the public, not by somebody who was simply hired by the government.
Talk a little bit about how the American surveillance state actually functions. Does it target the actions of Americans?
Uh, NSA and the intelligence community in general is focused on getting intelligence wherever it can by any means possible that it believes on the grounds of sort of a self-certification that they serve the national interest. Uh, Originally, we saw that focus very narrowly tailored as foreign intelligence gathered overseas. Now, increasingly, we see that it's happening domestically. And to do that, the NSA specifically, targets the communications of everyone. It ingests them by default. It collects them in its system, and it filters them, and it analyzes them, and it measures them, and it stores them for periods of time, simply because that's the easiest, most efficient, and most valuable way to achieve these ends. So while they may be intending to target someone associated with a foreign government or someone that they suspect of terrorism, they're collecting your communications to do so. Any analyst at any time can target anyone. Any selector anywhere. Not all analysts have the ability to target everything. But I, sitting at my desk, certainly had the authorities to wiretap anyone. From you or your accountant to a federal judge to even the president if I had a personal email. I'm no different from anybody else. I don't have special skills. I'm just another guy who sits there day to day in the office, watches what's happening, and goes, this is something that's not our place to decide. The public needs to decide whether these programs and policies are right or wrong. This is the truth. This is what's happening. You should decide whether we need to be doing this.
Why should people care about surveillance?
Because even if you're not doing anything wrong, you're being watched and recorded. You don't have to have done anything wrong. You simply have to eventually fall under suspicion from somebody, even by a wrong call. And then they can use the system to go back in time and scrutinize every decision you've ever made, every friend you've ever discussed something with, and attack you on that basis to sort of derive suspicion from an innocent life and paint anyone in the context of a wrongdoer. And anybody in the positions of access with the technical capabilities that I had could, suck out secrets, pass them on the open market to Russia. They always have an open door, as we do. I had access to, the full rosters of everyone working at the NSA, the entire intelligence community, and undercover assets all around the world. The locations of every station we have, what their missions are, and so forth. If I had just wanted to harm the U.S., that you could shut down the surveillance system in an afternoon.
Could he be a plant? Joining us today to discuss this is John Rappaport.
Let's start with the idea that his story doesn't really hold water. We're supposed to believe that he could stroll into the NSA with a thumb drive as a systems analyst working for Booz Allen, assigned to the NSA, and he can just get through all the firewalls, all the passwords, all the everything, and in his words to The Guardian, he could take down the whole intelligence network of the United States in a single afternoon. That's completely absurd. He's trying to present a picture of somebody who actually stole material from the NSA when in fact that material might have been handed to him by his former employer, the CIA, with whom he worked in Geneva under diplomatic cover starting in 2007 and was in charge of security for CIA systems there in Geneva.